Good evening, everybody. Everybody, good evening. Hello, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope that you all are keeping fine and so doing well. So we are going to start our session. There are 11 participants, including me. Uh, so I think there are some more to come. So anyway, we will start our session so others may join. Right. We started the discussions on the nature of human resource management, but we could not complete. So I am discussing the first session in detail so that I want to take 2 sessions to complete our first session. Right. So today I am going to complete the rest of the session. Before we start the discussions on the rest of the session, so I want to recap what you have discussed. First, we discussed the meaning of organization. We discussed that organization are very, very important for any society, any country, any economy, because it is organizations that provides, that produce and distributes goods and services we consume. If you do not have goods and services, so we will not be able to have so-called level of well-being or standard of living. No standard of living, no well-being. We have to consume either good or service in order to meet our various needs and wants. Our needs and wants are fulfilled by consuming either good or service. So these goods and services are produced by organizations. So we are not producing these goods and services by ourselves, right? There are many reasons for it. So there will be some individuals who produce so-called goods and services for their consumption, but it is very small in amount, negligible. So that the majority of goods and services consumed by, so we all are produced by organizations. So that organizations are very important. Organizations are icon, organizations are imperative, indispensable. You understood these things. So what do you mean by an organization? What is an organization? We discuss. What is an organization? How did they define it? Yes? What is an organization? You all are working for organizations. What is it? Yes? Now you are doing your degree with an organization. What is an organization? Yes? What is an organization? We discuss. Any idea? Okay, no worry. There are 3 important characteristics of an organization. There are 3 inherent characteristics of an organization. What are those characteristics? What are those characteristics? What are the characteristics of organization? Yes, students understand education is for life. Education is for life, not a mere living. අධ්‍යාපනය ජීවිතය සඳහාය ජීවත් වෙන්න විතරක් නෙමෙයි. අධ්‍යාපන ජීවිත සඳහා ජීවත් වෙන්න විතරක් නෙමෙයි. So these are fundamentals of management and human resource management. So fundamentals are very, very important, right? So if you want to become a true graduate, so these fundamentals are important. So you should be able to explain these things to anybody who wants to know. Once others understand that you have followed the course in BSc Applied Accounting or any, or if they believe that you have followed a module called Human Resource Manager, they may question. Your boss may even your boss may ask. Yeah, so that better if you can keep these things in your mind, especially basics. So not only to get or collect the credits, required credit to secure your degree. Of course, you have to get the credits to get your degree. That is not fair also. This is not an examination-oriented teaching, just like A level. right? So this is not examination centric. So education, right? So first, I want to make you understand of all these things. With the knowledge you have got, you have to sit for the exam. Forget about the exam now, right? Once you understand these things, once you learn, so you'll be able to sit for the exam with the knowledge you are going to have. Okay, so try at least to keep something in your mind. So I know that you are so busy, you will not be able to so go through these lecture notes just like other undergraduates are going through. So that you have to keep things in your mind at the time I am discussing, right? I don't know so whether you can't understand what I say, but I believe that with my experience I know that so everybody can understand what I am teaching. It is so simple, so easy because of the I have got many years of working experience. Through my experience I get feedback from students, so when he says that it is easy for them to understand. So that I think you too, you are you are sagacious enough to understand than others. You are capable. You are working groups, exception batch. Right. So that please go with me, right? Connected with me. So that you will be able to understand everything at the time I am discussing. Keep it in your mind, at least something. You will not be able to keep everything in your mind. So you have to go through lecture notes again, right? So you know how our mind works, right? How to put these things into our permanent mind. Okay, right. Anyway, so anybody who can let me know, we discuss the meaning of this is our starting point. We discuss the meaning of organization. What is an organization? Or what are the unique characteristics of organization?
People, goal,
Okay,
resources,
okay, people.
goals,
Okay,
resources.
okay,
These
right.
are
Okay, very good. So a group of people, one of the inherent characteristic, one of the unique characteristic is that a group of people. Group means two or more people. If there are two or more, it is a group. So that is the number one characteristic. So there should have a group of people. That is one goal. So the second characteristic is a goal. Goal means desired targets to be achieved. So there should have common goal, not individual goals. So there should have common goal, a common goal or goals, right? Right. So not individual goals. So organize should have common goal. Right. So what is the third one? People, a common goal. Third one, very important.
resources.
Yes, third one is interactions or cooperations, collaborations. Everybody should cooperate. Everybody should collaborate. Everybody should so engage. What in order to achieve that common goal, right? So without cooperation and collaboration, that common goal cannot be achieved. So we have to have cooperation, collaboration, so that a group of people who are working together in order to achieve a common goal. A group of people who are working together in order to achieve a common goal is called an organization, right? So organizations are established with the reason or reasons. We discuss what is the common reason for establishing organization. This is how we define it. A group of people who interact with each other for the purpose of achieving common goal. Characteristic, as you mentioned that, a group of people, common goal, then interactions. Right. Then we discuss that organizations are established with the reason or reasons. What is the common goal? Oh, so what is the common purpose of establishing organizations? What is the so common purpose of establishing organization? Organization are same in terms of common purpose. What is that? Yes. What is the common purpose of establishing organizations? Organizations are established with the reason or reasons. There are many reasons, right? There are many reasons for your organization to be established. Your founders might must have some specific goals. My organization, my university, so our founders had so many goals. But what should be the common goal for all of us? We all are same, you, me, and others. We almost all the organize same in terms of common purpose. What is the common purpose of establishing organization?
Customer
To
satisfaction.
provide a service or a product to
Ye-
satisfy the customer needs or wants.
Okay, very good. Right. Okay, very good. Good. So the common purpose of establishing organization is to so serve the mankind or human society. Right. That is the common purpose. Almost all the organization wants to serve the mankind, human society, by producing a good and service and distributing it. If it is not the common purpose, people will reject that organization. People will drive them away, chase them away, because there's no any use for the people from that particular organization. Understand? So that I don't know whether organizations have understood or not. I don't know. Sometimes some organizations might have understood this, some organizations might not have understood this. But that should be the common purpose. Common purpose. Common purpose is to serve the mankind of human society. How? By producing and distributing a good or service. Otherwise, there's no any survival. People will reject that organization, chase them away, drive them away. Right. In order to achieve that common purpose, organization can establish specific purposes. What are the specific purposes organization can establish? Specific purposes. It's specific to your organization, my organization. It's specific to other organizations. What are
Maintain the
those?
share.
Huh? Say it
Maintain
again.
the share.
Say it again, though I could not follow you.
To increase the net assets of owners.
Yes, to increase the net assets of owners. Yes, that is one of the specific goal, right? So specific goal, specific some of the organizations. So what else? There are many specific goals, many. We all are same in terms of common goal. We all are different in terms of specific goals. The specific goals of my university are not the specific goals of your organization. Sometimes may be same. So there will be many differences. What are the other? Yes, to increase or enhance, improve the net assets of owners.
Increase in market shares.
Yes, to increase the market share. To increase market share, for example, I want to get the lion's share of the market. I want to increase my market share, capture the large share of the market. That is one of the goal. What else? How about customer satisfaction? We want to increase our customer satisfaction. We want to satisfy the customers. We want to satisfy our employees. So employee satisfaction. We want to generate employment opportunities. So that is one of the specific objectives of our organization. We want to engage in CSR, corporate social responsibility. Right. So those are the specific goals. Right. We discussed that. In order to achieve common goal, so these specific goals are very important. Achievement of these specific goals help to achieve our common goal. Right. In order these specific goals, organization should engage in primary work, principal task. So we discussed that it is to produce either good or service and market it. So there's no any other way. For you, in order to achieve specific goals, you have to produce and distribute a good or service. Now you are doing it. Your organization doing it. My university is producing a service, higher education, and distributing it. Right. So think about hospital, they are producing a service. Right. Think about bank, they are producing a service. So think about manufacturing organization that produces a particular product, distributing it. Right. So that we all are producing either good or service and market it, distribute it. Right. We discussed that in order to produce either good or service, we need what we need in order to produce a good or service.
Human resource.
Yes, we need human resource, but not only human resource. That is just one of the resources. But merely because we have human resource, we will not be able to produce the so-called good or service. Humans are very important. We discuss it, right? So imperative, psychonon, indispensable, most vital, right? People make all the differences. We need human resource. What else?
Factors
Yes.
of production.
Huh?
Factors of production.
Yes, factors of production. Broadly speaking, we need factors of production. Human resources are one of the factors of production. Okay, broadly speaking, we need factors of production or inputs or commonly used, commonly we can say that resources. We need resources. Right, resources are combined, resources are utilized, resources are mobilized, resources are processed to produce either good or service. Right. However, so we discuss these type of resources. So economic classification, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, management classification, 5M classification, 6M classification. So 7M's plus classification, 7M's plus I classification, common classification. We discuss these things. I'm not going to discuss again. However, so what is the unique characteristic of all these resources? What is the very nature of all these resources? If you take land, labor, capital, entrepreneurs, if you take so men, machine, method, materials, so money, etc. Common classification, physical resource, financial resource, human resource, information, whatever the resource you take, so you can understand one of the unique characteristic common to all these resources. What is that?
They are limited.
They are limited.
Yes, they are limited, extremely limited. Scarcity. Scarcity. All these resources are scarce. All these are economic resources. All economic resources are scarce. Scarce means it doesn't mean that we don't have resources. It means that organizations do have resources, but the problem is when compared with the required needs and wants, so the amount of resources available are extremely limited. Extremely limited. Right. So as resources are limited, as resources are scarce, so we will not be able to utilize these resources as we want. So employees who are working for the organization should utilize these resources to produce either good or service. But as these resources are extremely limited, so people who are working for the organization are not supposed to utilize these resources as they want, as they like. There is a particular way of utilizing these resources. What is that unique way of utilizing these resources? We discuss. You have to utilize your organized resources in order to produce either good or service. You are producing either good or service at the place where you are working. Today also you did it. Right? Now I am doing it. Right? So in order to produce either good or service, utilize resources. But resources are extremely limited. We don't have enough resources as many as we need. So that how these resources should be utilized?
Effectively and efficiently.
Yeah, these resources should be utilized efficiently and effectively. That is the one and only way. There's no any other way. We can do it, right? But as these resources are extremely limited, so we have to utilize this efficiently and effectively. But we discuss the meaning of efficiency. What is efficiency? What is efficiency? In Sinhala, we call it karyakshamatavaya.
Doing things right.
Yeah, doing things right. Efficiency refers to doing things right. You have understood these things. Okay, good. Thank you. So doing things right. In simple ways, we can say that it is all about minimizing wastage. If you can minimize wastage, you can become efficient. So whenever you are going to utilize these resources, maybe in your professional life, maybe in your personal life even, you have to utilize your resources in order to achieve your personal goals. Now you are following your degree, right? So that is your personal goal. You want to get a degree in a BSc applied accounting, right? So that you have to utilize your resources, but these resources are extremely limited. Do you have unlimited resources in order to follow your degree program? No, limited. Think about your data, right? Think about the electricity you use. Think about at least your time. Do you have enough time as much as you need? No, I don't think that. You have to work for your employee at least for 8 hours, at least for 8 hours. Many are working more than that, right? You have to get at least 6 hours of sound sleep, at least 6 hours. I suggest you to have 8 hours if possible. And then what is left? You are supposed to go to the place of work. It takes at least 1 hour. Sometimes it takes another 1 hour to come back. So how many hours you have to? 10 hours, 10 plus 6 means 16 hours. Then, so how many hours left for other things? So extremely limited. So how you should utilize these limited resources in order to achieve your personal goal? Can you waste these resources? No, right? So you have to work, you have to use these resources efficiently. You have to utilize your time efficiently. Time is a great resource, not only time or the other resources. Time is just right. So that efficiency refers to minimize wastage. Do not waste your these so valuable resources, right? Especially time. Time is the most precious resource, right? Right. Not only efficiently, but also effectively. What do you mean by effectively? Effectiveness?
Doing the right thing.
Yeah, doing the right thing. Effective refers to doing the right thing. You have to do the right thing, not wrong thing. Right? So you can do wrong thing right. Right? So it is useless, although you minimize wastage if you cannot achieve your goals. Right? So that effectiveness refers to achieving your goals. Right? You may minimize your resources, your electricity, your data, right? So your financial resources. But if your goals are not achieved, what is the use of minimizing these things, right? So you may utilize electricity consumption, right? But if your goals cannot be achieved, what is the use of minimizing it? So you want to get your degree with flying colors, right? You have to get your degree. So although you minimize this, so it is useless if you cannot achieve your goal, right? Effectiveness refers to achieving goals, right? Then, so we came to a very good concept by saying that efficient and effective utilization of resources means all the resources in order to achieve organic goals. What is that? Efficient and effective utilization of resources means all the resources in order to achieve organic goals is referred as, what is that? Efficient and effective utilization of resources means all the resources in order to achieve organic goal is called
Management.
management. Management. You see how nice it is, right? Very easy. Very easy to keep in mind. Do not forget that. So definition, that is the general definition. There are many, many definitions to manage, but that is the common definition. Very easy to keep it in mind, right? An efficient and effective utilization of resources means all the resources in order to achieve organized goal is called management. So this is what we discuss. Management is the efficient and effective utilization resources means all the resources to achieve goals of an org. Right. So we are supposed to discuss human resource management. Human resources are just only one of the resources. There are many resources. Among the human resources is one of the resources. Human resource also is scarce resource. As human resource is a scarce resource, how human resource should be utilized? There's a particular way of utilizing human resources. It is scarce. It is extremely limited. So that how human resource should be utilized? How human resource should be utilized?
Effectively and efficiently.
Yes, effectively and efficiently because it is scarce. It is extremely limited. Right. So that human resource should be utilized efficiently. Human resource should be utilized effectively for what? In order to achieve goals of an organization. Right. So that by making a simple change to this definition, you can make a very good definition for HRM. Just only one particular term to be included before resources. How do you define the term human resource management then? Yes? Very easy. Even a small kid can do it now. How do you define the term human resources? Management is the efficient and effective utilizing of resources, means all the resources to achieve goals of an organization. Human resource management? Yes?
Efficient and effective utilization of human resources to achieve goals of an organization.
Yes, very good. That is how we define the term, right? Human resource management. HRM is the efficient and effective utilize human resources to achieve goals of an organization. Right? Efficiency refers to minimizing wastage. Do not waste human resources. Effective utilization means utilize human resources in order to achieve goals. Right? Goals. right? So the human resource should be utilized in order to achieve organization goals. So human management is the efficient and effective utilization of human resources to achieve goals of an organization. What do you mean by human resources? What do you mean by human resources? If you can keep this definition in your mind, already you have earned 5 marks, right? At the end of at the end semester examination, I will not ask a direct question about the meaning of human resource management or define the term, but knowing the definition of HR will help you to answer for the other questions too. At least 5 marks. If you have learned these things, I'm sure that you have earned more than 5 marks, sometime maybe 10. But I don't want to focus examination at this juncture. So definitely you will be able to get to examination with flying colors. So if you are ready to work as I say, right, as I told, right. So we discussed the meaning of human resources. So this is again another important point to be discussed. What is human resources? What is human resource? We said that human resources are the most important resource over all the other resources. Right? There are many other resources, many classifications, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, then 5M classification, men, machine, method, money, method, etc., material, etc. So among all these resources, human resources are the most important resources. What do you mean by human resource? What is human resource?
Employees who work for the organization.
Yes, employees who are working for the organization. Human resources are people who are at work. Human resources are employees. Human resources is the workforce. Right? Human resources are the people who are working for the organization. Okay, right. When compared with all the other resources, human resources are the most important resource, most vital resources. There's no any other resource which is more important than human resource. No organization is better than its human resources. No organization is better than its human resources. People make all the differences. So why we say so? Why we say so? All other resources make things possible, but it is human resource that makes things happen. Happening is more important than possibility. What are the unique characteristics of human resources? Human resources are so vital, so important because there are several unique characteristics of human resources. What are the unique characteristics of human resources? We discuss.
Active and living.
Yes, human resources are active, and also human resources are living being. It is active, it is living. What else? Many,
Creativity.
many. You should understand this characteristic. If you want to make request for a pay hike, pay raise, so you have to understand the importance of you, the relative worth of you, the value of you, how valuable you are. So understand. So the value of you. So you are so valuable. You are so important. So people are so vital. You make all the difference. So how can we say that? We have to have facts. We can't say for the sake of saying that, so we are important. We are so valuable. So what are the unique characteristics?
Creativity.
Active living,
Creativity.
yes, creativity, able to create, able to create. So creativity is very, very important for the success and the progress success of organization and in your personal life too. In your personal life, even understand you have to be very creative, right? Organize people who do not create may not rise. And in any nation who does not create may not rise. You might have heard what Kumartunga Munidas once said. අලුත් අලුත් දෑ නොතනන ජාතිය ලෝ නොනගී හිඟාකෙම බැරුණු තැන ලගී ගය මරගී. Right? So අපිට බෑ කිසිම ජාතියකට කිසිම රටකට කිසිම සමාජයකට ඉදිරියට යන්න බෑ, දියුණු වෙන්න බෑ, සාර්ථකත්වයටපත් වෙන්න බෑ. ජාතිය අලුත් අලුත් දේවල් හැදුවේ නැතිනම්, නවෝත්පාදන කළේ නැතිනම්. නවෝත්පාදන කරන්න වැදගත්ම කොන්දේසි තමයි මේ ජාතිය නිර්මාණශීලී වෙන්න ඕන. So we have to be creative. We are not creative, we will not be able to invent anything. That is true for our personal life and our professional life too. In your personal life, even so, you have to be very creative. Understand? Do not do things that our general people are doing. Do not do things just like our average people are doing. Do not do things just like our ancestors who did. නිසා පාරේ යන මිනිස්සු හිතන විදිහටම හිතන්න එපා ඔබ. ඔබ ඊට වඩා මනසින් දියුණු පිරිසක් කියලා මට දැනෙන්නේ හිතෙන්නේ. අනිත් අය කරන දේම කරන්න යන්න එපා. අතීතයේ මේ හිටපු මිනිස්සු කරපු දේම කරන්න යන්න එපා ඔබ. right අලුත් විදිහට කරන්න වෙනස් විදිහට කරන්න නිර්මාණශීලී තමත් අවශ්‍යයි. නිර්මාණශීලී. Right. When it comes to organized success, so people who are working for the organized should be creative. So human beings are creative. Human beings are creative creatures. Not only human beings, even some animals also creative. There are some animals who are creative. Right. So what else? What are the other?
It has the ability to think.
Ability to think. Ability to think. Other resources cannot think. Even your sophisticated computer. Can they think? Can it think as you think? How about a smartphone? Can they think? No, they may work according to instructions given, according to software's inserted. Okay, so they can't think themselves, but human resource can think. What else? Able to think, able to create. What else?
Make decisions.
Huh?
Make decisions.
Able to take decisions, able to make decisions. So human resource can take decisions, make decisions. It is human resource that make decisions over other resource. It is not other resource that take decisions over human resource. You can make decisions. Other resources are not taking decisions. Your financial resources may not take decisions over others. It is you who take decisions with regard to financial resources too. What else? What will happen to the
Resources
value
are
of human resource with the
heterogeneous.
passage of time? Will increase or decrease or remain unchanged? What will be the value of you by next year? What will be the value of you upon the completion of this degree program?
Increase.
Increase. Value increases with the passage of time, but value of many resources will decrease with the passage of time. Right, so value of your personal computer that you are using, so may decrease with the passage of time. It become obsolete, right? Go out of date. That's why you make some provision for depreciation. Okay, there are many unique characters. It is animate, it is active, it is living, it has the ability to think, ability to feel, ability to react, ability to innovate, ability to make ability of creativity, value appreciated the passage of time. It is heterogeneous, not homogeneous. It is complex, also very difficult to predict the behavior. So these are the unique characteristics. All these unique characteristics make human resource so unique, so that it is very correct to say that human resource is the most important resource over all the other resources. I can dare say it anywhere openly. Understand? You also, I want all of you to understand this fact. So say it anywhere openly. Finance resources are very important. I understand you are in finance field. Right? But unless there are people, right? Is there any use of financial resources? Understand? People make all the difference. So all your finance resources lay idle as resources if you do not have human resource. So that I want all of you to understand vitality of human resources. Human resources are so important, so vital, right? So precious. Right? There is no any other resource which is more important. So human resource, right? Merely because all the other resources are available, unless human resource available, there is no any use of all the other resources. Right? Understand this simple fact. Okay, so these are the things we discussed. So we discuss about organized goals. We discuss specific goals of organizations. We discuss about human resources, unique characteristics, right? We discuss one of the activity, other resource make things possible, but only human resource make things happen, right? We discussed the meaning of management according to Professor Dava. Did I discuss Professor Dava definition? Professor Dava defined the term management in different ways than others. So management means manage men. Men means people. Men means employees. T is for tactful. Tactful means careful. Careful means without hurting the feelings of men or people. Right? Management means not. Management is nothing but human resource management, because management means management. Men means human resources. Manage human resource. How? T for tactfully, carefully. Right? So that is how Professor Dava defined the term. We discussed the efficiency. Efficiency refers to doing things right. We discussed the meaning of effectiveness, doing the right thing. We discussed that efficiency and effectiveness are two concepts which change to opposite direction, mutually exclusive, right? For an organization, what is important is, so what is the most important variable for an organization? Is that efficiency or effectiveness? What is more important? Is it efficiency or is it effectiveness for an organization? Yes?
Both.
Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. Efficiency is minimizing wastage. Effectiveness is achieving goals. Which is more important or the other? Huh?
Effectiveness.
Yes, both are important. You have understood well, right? Both are important. We discuss that both are important, right? Effectiveness, efficiency. Right. Then, so we discuss up to that particular point. So we will discuss the rest of the things. Next, I want to discuss the generic purpose of HRM. So before we start the discussions on the rest of the things, I want to get the feedback, your genuine feedback. Tell me, be frank. So do you understand what I discuss? Do you understand what I discuss? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Everybody
Yes,
agree?
sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please tell me. I want to get the feedback of everybody. Yes, do not hesitate.
Yes, sir.
Right. I hope that the others are not responding so everybody can understand. But so I am not happy if at least one may not be understand what I say. So I will be happy if everybody can understand. Okay. Right. So that if you have any queries, please let me know at any time. So stop me at any time. Disturb me. This is for you. You are paying for your degree program. Right. So that this is for you. Right, tell me. Right. Then, so we are going to discuss the rest of the things. Next thing we want to discuss is the generic purpose of human resource management. मानव संपद कल्पनाकरणी मुख्य परमार्थ, generic purpose, मुख्य परमार्थ. Sometime, so once you understand the importance of human resource management, you may suggest to establish good human resource management to your organization. Suppose that there's no any good or proper human resource management in your organization, so that you may suggest to your employer, shall we establish good human resource management system within our organization? We will be benefited. Then your boss will ask, your employer, your boss will ask, so why we should be worried about human resource management? So now we are running our business at a profit. Why we should be concerned? Why we should be worried? What is your answer? How do you justify that establishing good human resource management system is important, vital? You may be speechless now. No, you have to have good answer. What is the good answer? So that is the generic purpose of HRM. Generic. If you understand the generic purpose of HRM, human resource management, you can make him understand. You can make anybody understand with the importance of human resource management. Right? So, in simple words, the generic purpose of human resource management is to get the maximum individual contribution. To get the maximum individual contribution from whom? From employees. Right? Not the minimum contribution or not the average contribution, not the mediocre contribution. Right? So you want human resource manager in order to get the maximum individual contribution. If your employee is not concerned about getting the maximum contribution, or if he or she can be happy with average contribution of employees. So no, you don't need to have a human resource management system in the organization. If your employee is happy with the average contribution or minimum contribution employees are making, you need not to establish a good human resource manager. But if you want to get the maximum individual contribution toward the organized success from employees, then human resource management is very important, right? So that the generic purpose of human resource management is to get the maximum individual contribution from employees to achieve the goals of the organization. In order to do so, you have to generate, first you have to generate the workforce. You have to generate the workforce. Once you generate, you have to retain that workforce. But what type of workforce you should generate? You should generate an appropriate workforce. You have to generate an appropriate workforce. So the generic purpose of human resource management is first to generate and then to retain. Generate means to have, to get, to buy, to procure, right? Generate. To retain, what do you mean retain? Retaining means keeping them with the organization. Once you hire, you have to keep them within the organization. What type of employees? Not everybody, not anybody, but appropriate. Appropriate workforce. What do you mean by appropriate workforce? Yes? So give me a minute. So my mouse is not working. Right, okay. What do you mean by appropriate workforce? Yes, appropriate workforce. What is appropriateness? Appropriate workforce? Yes. What is appropriate workforce? What is appropriateness? Students, can you see what I am writing? Students, can you see what I am writing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it
Yes,
visible?
sir.
Right. So what do you mean by appropriate work? Generic purpose of human resource management is first to generate, then to retain appropriate workforce. What is appropriate? Appropriate refers to 4 elements. What are they? One is competent. Competent workforce. What is competent or competency? What is competent? Your workforce you generate should be competent. What is competent or competency? Competency refers to 3 elements. What are they? Knowledge, skills, and one more thing. What is the third one? Third element of competency? Yes? Competency refers to 3 elements. If you are competent, you have to have these things: knowledge, skills, and
Attitude.
third one. What is that?
Attitude.
Anybody? Attitude. Understand? So competence refers to knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So appropriate means competent. What is knowledge, students? What is knowledge? By attending this lecture, you are supposed to get the knowledge. So you want. What is knowledge? You have been schooling for 13 years. You have so collected the knowledge you wanted. Even now you are attending this lecture in order to get the required knowledge. Especially by attending lectures, you can get knowledge, not skills that level. Skills can be achieved by training, hands-on experience, to a certain extent by lecture too. So attitudes, both ways. What is knowledge? You have been getting knowledge up to now, even in time to come. Understand, knowledge is to know. Knowledge is your theoretical understanding. Theoretical understanding. It is the understanding of different concepts, different theories, different principles. So different concepts, process, procedures, information, etc. Knowledge is pure. Okay. Skill. What is skill? Skill is practical. Skill is your ability to perform a particular task given or activity given with the knowledge you have got. Attitude. Understand attitude matters a lot. It is not your aptitude, but attitudes that determine your altitude. It is not your aptitude, but attitudes that determine your altitude. So attitude matters a lot. Attitude matters a lot. Attitude is the passport for a better future. Understand, students, believe me, although we have all the required knowledge and skills, if you do not have right attitude, positive attitudes, so you will not be able to achieve success and the progress. Negative attitudes ruin everything. Although you have got double PhD, although you have got the highest academic professional qualification, it is useless if you do not have right attitudes, proper attitudes, optimistic view, right? So that attitudes plays a vital role in achieving our goals in our personal life and professional life too. Right. Anyway, appropriate means competent. The workforce that we are going to generate should be competent enough. Competency. What is the single term for competency? What is the single term for competency, students? Competent. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ නිපුණතාව කියලා. නිපුණතාව. competency කියලාත් කියනවා, ability කියලාත් කියනවා, capability කියලාත් කියන මේ තුනම එකයි. ability, competency, capability. That is the combination knowledge, skills and attitude. But although you have knowledge, skills, attitude, useless if you do not have, the other three elements of appropriateness. Another one is motivation. So you have to generate motivated workforce. What is motivation, students? What is motivation? Competent. You have to generate competent workforce. You have to generate motivated workforce. Motivated workforce. What is motivated? Motivation is very, very important. What is motivation? You have to generate motivated workforce. You have to keep or retain motivated workforce. If you are not motivated, I'm not sure whether your organization will be able to achieve organized goals. If you are not motivated, I'm not sure whether you will be able to achieve your personal goals. If you want to get your degree with flying colors, as you expect, as you want, you should be motivated. Although you are knowledgeable, although you have skills, if you are not motivated, I'm not sure whether you will be able to achieve your goals. What is motivation? Motivation is important everywhere. Personal life, professional life, wherever. What is motivation?
Encouragement.
Huh? What is motivation? Yes. Tell me. Just give me a response. I don't expect perfect answers. I don't want. But with the answer you give, we'll be able to make a good answer. Perfect answer. Share the happiness of answering, students. Right? So you can keep these things in your mind very well. Have no fear for making mistakes. How many mistakes I am making? I have no fear of making mistakes. That is one of the great quality of one of the eminent trait of great people who change this world. Many people who change this world had no fears for failures. මේක අභේදාන ඉල්ලගෙන ආපු ගමනක් නෙමෙයිනේ. ඒ නිසා තමන්ට හිතෙන උත්තරයක් දෙන්න. It's okay. What is motivation? Motivation? Don't have motivation to answer.
Encouragement.
Yes. Say it again.
Encouragement.
Encouragement. Yes. Motivation equals to encouragement. Yes. Motivation is the willingness to work. Willingness. Willingness to work. So you have to have willingness to work. So you have to have willingness to study. Right? If you do not have willingness to study, if you do not have desire to study, you may not study. I have to have the motivation to teach you. I have to have the motivation to deliver a lecture. If I do not have motivation to deliver lecture, I will not do it. It may not be that effective. Students will not be able to understand. Right? So I am motivated to teach. I have to have the motivation. Right? So that students, you have to motivate me to teach. Understand? If you do not motivate me to teach, so the thing that I teach may not be understandable. It may not be that effective. Right? So you have to have the willingness to learn. Right? You have to have the willingness to study. You have to have willingness to work for your employer. Motivation is very, very important. That is the strong desire. Right? That is very, very important factor you have to have in order to achieve the success and the progress success of your life. If you want to achieve your personal goals, you want to achieve your personal goal, for example, you aim to climb your career ladder. You want to climb to the top of your career. Right? I don't know what is on the top. So maybe the CEO of your organization, financial director, financial controller, senior accountant, group accountant, right? Group financial manager, right? Or general manager. There will be different names. So whatever your goal, if you want to achieve, definitely you have to have a strong desire. You have to have a strong desire. නිකම් ඔහේ ලියහදාලා වගේ යන්න එපා. Right? Aim at high. Aim at high. You have to have big dreams. In order to achieve your personal goals, you have to have big dreams. So ලොකු සිහින දකින්න. ලොකුවට හිතන්න, ලොකුවට කටයුතු කරන්න. මේ ලෝකේ තියෙන ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය වෙන්නේ ලොකු සිහින දැකලා ඒවා ඉටු නොකර ගැනීම නෙමෙයි. මේ ලෝකේ තියෙන ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය තමයි පුංචි සිහින දැකලා ඒවා ඉටු කර ගැනීම. ඔබට තේරුණාද දන්නේ මම කියපු දේ? නැවත මම කියන්න මේක. මේ ලෝකේ තියෙන ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය. Right? The biggest strategy in this world. ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය තමයි ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය වෙන්නේ ලොකු සිහින දැකලා ඒවා ඉටු නොකර ගැනීම නෙමෙයි. ඒවා කඩාකප්පල් කර ගැනීම නෙමෙයි ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය. ලොකුම ඛේදවාචකය තමයි පුංචි සිහින දැකලා ඒවා ඉටු කර ගැනීම. තේරුණාද කියපු දේ? නිසා පුංචි සිහින දැකලා ඉටු කර ගන්නවට වඩා හොඳ ලොකු සිහින දැකලා කඩාකප්පල් කරගන්න. Right? That's the great meaning of what I say. So that think big. You are not too small to think big. නිසා ලොකු සිහින දකින්න ඔබ පුංචි නැත. ලොකු සිහින දකින්න පුංචි නැත. Do not undermine yourself. Do not underrate yourself. You have to have high self-esteem. Understand? Your mind can achieve whatever your mind can conceive. Right? So you can become anyone you can think of. You can become anyone you can dream of. Whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. එනිසා ඔබ සිහිනෙන් දකින කවුරු වෙන්නද ඒ කෙනා බවට ඔබටපත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔබ හිතින් හිතන්නේ කවුරු වෙන්නද ඒ කෙනා බවටපත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔබ මනසින් දකින්නේ කොයි වගේ ලෝකයක ජීවත් වෙන්නද ඒ කෙනා බවට ඔබටපත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Yeah, that is my personal belief. Understand? It is not me who said it. Have you heard about Napoleon Hill? Napoleon Hill's work, he wrote a book called The Think and Grow Rich. That book changed the thinking of all Americans. So that book made America a developed country. Right? Think and Grow Rich. So the author is Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill says that you can become anyone you can think of. You can become anyone you can dream of. Whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. How you can do it? So you have to have a strong desire. Burning desire. But දැවෙන ආසාවක් තියෙනවනම් දැවෙන ආසාවක් තියෙන නොතිත් ආසාවක් තියෙනවනම් unwavering desire එකක් තියෙනවනම් කැමැත්තක් තියෙනවනම් ඕනම දෙයක් බොහොම පහසුම දෙයක් වේවි. එනිසා මේ BSc applied accounting degree බොහොම simple දෙයක් වේවි ඔබට strong desire එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක ගන්න. BSc applied accounting degree නෙමෙයි your masters PhDs all these things become so easy so that organization should have motivated workforce. In our personal life also we have to be motivated. Not only motivated, we have to have committed workforce. Committed workforce. What is committed workforce? Commitment. Commitment here refers to organized commitment. We have to have employees who are committed to the organization. What is organized commitment? Anybody who understand the meaning of commitment? Okay, no worries. Commitment is the emotional attachment. Emotional attachment with the organization. Employees should be emotionally attached with the organization. There should be an emotional bond with the organization. Employees should love the organization. They should loyal to the organization. They should be happy to be identified with the organization. So they should be happy when they talk about the place where they are working for. When they are required to introduce themselves, the first thing that comes to their mind is the organization they are working for. So if you want me to introduce myself, the first thing I want to say that I'm working for the University of Sri Jawatanapura. I'm working for the University of Sri Jawatanapura because I love my organization. I'm loyal to my organization. I'm very happy when I talk about the place where I'm working for. That is my commitment, organization commitment, right? So if you are committed to your organization, the first thing you want to tell is the place where you are working for. You are very happy when you are talking about your employer, the place where you are working. You love it. You are very happy. You want to be identified with the organization you are working for. That is commitment. Not only commitment, so organization needs employees who are involved. What is involved workforce? Involved means job involvement. Job involvement. What is job involvement? What is job involvement? Organization wants employees who are involved. Involvement means emotional attachment with the job, not the organization, with the job. Understand? Those who are involved love their job, not the organization. They are very happy when they talk about the job they are doing. They want to be identified with the job they are doing. For example, if I have high job involvement, the first thing I want to say when I am introducing myself, I want to say that I am a professor in human resource management. That is my job. I love it very much. That's my job. I love it very much. I'm very happy when I talk about the job I am doing. I feel happy, right? I consider my job as the central part of my life. I do everything on my job. I eat on my job. I sleep on the job. Understand? If you have high job involvement, you love your job very much. Right? If you do not love your job, you are not involved. And if you are not happy when you are talking about your job you are doing, you don't have job involvement. You are not emotionally attached with the job. You don't have emotional bond. Understand? So that organization wants involved workforce. Right? Not only job involved, they have to be committed to. Not only committed, and they want to have motivated workforce. Not only involved, committed, motivated, they should be competent. So then it becomes appropriate. Appropriate. Appropriateness refers to competent, motivated, committed, and involved. So we have to generate this type of workforce. Okay. So general purpose HRM is to generate and retain appropriate workforce. Appropriate. We discussed about the meaning of appropriate. Not only appropriate, but also contented. What do you mean by contented workforce, students? Contented workforce? Yes. What is contented workforce? Any idea? Yes. What is contented? The workforce you generate should be contented. Any idea?
Satisfied.
Yes, satisfied, being happy. Happy workforce. Happy work. You have to generate happy workforce. Although you are appropriate, it is useless if you are not happy. Why is it? Why organization needs happy workforce? Anybody? Why organizations needs happy workforce? Not only appropriate workforce. They have to happy workforce. Why is it? Any idea? Yes.
Easy to achieve goals.
Easy to achieve goals. Yes, connected to that. Understand students, only happy employees give their maximum contribution. Understand? If you are not happy, the things that you are doing is not maybe productive. Only happy employees be productive. Only happy employees give their maximum contribution. If you are not happy, you may not give a maximum contribution. You may contribute, you may work, you may help the organization, but it may not be the maximum contribution. Only happy employees may be productive. Understand? If you are not happy, you may not give your maximum contribution. You may work. You may work you for the sake of working because you are supposed to do. If you are not working, so employer can take some decisions with regard to you, right? So that so employee happiness is very, very important. Only happy employees so give their maximum contribution. Have you heard about Khalil Gibran? Khalil Gibran is one of the philosophers who ever lived in this world. Khalil Gibran has once said that if you are the things, whatever you are doing, you should do it with happiness. Whatever you do in your life, you have to do it with happiness. If you are doing things without happiness, it's better to go for begging. Khalil Gibran කියනවා ඔබ කරන මෙහෙ ඔබ කරන්න ඕන සතුටකින්. ඔබ කරන මෙහෙ ඔබ කරන්නේ සතුටකින් නෙමෙයි නම් දෙවොලක් ළඟ සිඟා කෑම යෙහිකි. එවිට සතුටින් සිටින මිනිසුන් ඔබට සතුටින් සිඟමන් දෙනු ඇත. ඔව් කියන විදිහට අපි සතුටකින් නොකරන කිසිම දෙයක් ඵලදායී වෙන්නේ නැත. Right? So that students, whatever you do in your life, you have to be very happy. In your personal life even, you have to be happy. නිසා මේ දේශනයට ඔබ සහභාගී වෙන්න ඕන with unlimited happiness. So you have to attend my lecture with unlimited happiness. Not only my lecture, I want all of you to attend all the lectures with unlimited happiness. You have to sit for exams with unlimited happiness. You have to do all assignments with unlimited happiness. You have to sit for midterm exams with unlimited happiness. You have to do all the works in your personal life with unlimited happiness. Understand? එහෙම නැතුව, if you are doing things for the sake of doing, you may get it done. That may not be that productive. ඒ නිසා දේශනාවට සහභාගී වෙන්න ඕන so අසීමිත සතුටකින්. එහෙම නැතුව මේක මොන වෙඩින් එකක්ද කියලා හිතලා සහභාගී වෙනවා නම් ඒක සාර්ථක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. attendance mark වෙයි. හැබැයි සාර්ථක වෙන එකක් නෑ. Understand? Right. ඒ නිසා විභාගයට වාඩි වෙන්නත් ඕන ගොඩක් සතුටකින්. මොනවා කළා ජීවිතේ සතුටකින් කරන්න. යමක් හරියට කරන්න ඕන ඒක සතුටෙන් කරන්න. ඒක කරන්න ඕන නිසාම කරන්න එපා. ටිකක් අමාරු වැඩක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි so once you practice you can do it. Right? Sometimes so you will not be able to do things you love, but you have to love the things you do. ජීවිතෙත් එහෙම ඔබ ආදරය කරන රැකියාව තෝරගන්න. ඔබ ආදරය කරන දේ කරන්නට ඔබට රැකියාව කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ කියලා ඇල්බර්ට් අයින්ස්ටයින් කියලා දෙනවා. ඔබ ආදරය කරන දේ ඔබ කළොත් if you are doing what you love, you need not to do a job. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද? ඒ කියන්නේ ජොබ් එක කරන්න ඕනේ කියන එක නෙමෙයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබට වෙහසක් දැනෙන එකක් නැහැ. ඔබ වඩාත් ආදරය කරන දේ කළොත් ඔබට වෙහසක් දැනෙන එකක් නැහැ. අපි ආසනයකට මේ ආසයෙන් කරන වෙහසක් නැහැ. හැබැයි ආස නැති දෙයක් කරනකොට වෙහසක් දැනෙනවා. මහන්සියක් දැනෙනවා. ඉගෙන ගන්න එක මහන්සියක් දැනෙන එකක් නෙවෙයි ඒක ආසයෙන් කළොත්. Right. That is for your personal life. Right. So this is what we discuss. General purpose of human resource management is first to generate and then to retain. Retaining means, what do you mean by retaining, students? Retain. What is retaining? Generate means to have, to get, right? To hire. Retaining means keeping them within the organization. What is the use of generating an appropriate and contented workforce if they are leaving the organization very often? Is it advantageous? No. So it is disadvantage, cost to the organization a lot. If people who are hired are leaving the organization, no sooner they are hired, they are appropriate, they are competent, they are motivated, they are so involved, right? They are committed. But if they are leaving the organization, what is the use of? You have to keep them. You have to have some strategies to keep them within the organization, right? So the generic purpose of HRM is to generate and retain appropriate and content workforce which give the maximum individual contribution toward the organization's success, right? Students, are you with me? Is it clear? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody? Everybody? Do not
Yes,
forget
sir.
this generic purpose, okay? So I am going to ask a question with regard to generic purpose. Okay, knowing the generic purpose help you to earn some marks, but it is more than that. So generic purpose, knowing the generic purpose will help you to understand the real need for human resource management, right? So you can justify the importance of establishing good human resource management system within the organization if you understand the generic purpose. Okay, in order to achieve this generic purpose, there are several strategic goals. There are several strategic goals. What do you know? Strategic goals. Strategic goals are long-term goals. Long-term, relative long-term goals. Strategic goals, relative long-term goals, which are very vital, very important, that may have a direct impact on achieving business goals. Right. So we had only 4 strategic goals. Recently, one more added, so that altogether there are 5 strategic goals. There are 5 strategic goals. So we are going to discuss about these 5 strategic goals. Is that okay? Am I audible to everybody?
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then we will discuss so-called strategic goals of human resource management. Right. So first one is to improve employee productivity. Improve employee productivity. What is employee productivity? Productivity is a key concern of any employer. Almost all the employers wants to increase productivity, enhance productivity, improve productivity. What is employee productivity? What is employee productivity? So first we will discuss employee productivity. What is employee productivity? As finance people, you should understand the meaning of productivity. What is productivity? Yes? What is productivity, students? Have you heard? Almost all the employers are concerned about the level of productivity of the organization. What is productivity? Productivity is the relationship between inputs and output. Inputs and output. If you divide outputs by the number of inputs, you get productivity. Right? You get productivity. Output divided by inputs. There are many types of inputs you are using. We discuss resources. Many type of. One is say that machine. Machine is input. Right? What is machine productivity? If you divide the total output by the number of machines used, you get machine productivity. For example, so machine productivity. For example, you produce 10,000 items, 10,000 items of a particular product by using 10 machines. By using 10 machines. What is machine productivity? What is machine productivity? What is the number of outputs produced by one machine? That is 1,000. So 1000 is so productivity of machines per machine, the number of, right? If you use human resources or employees or labor, you can calculate labor productivity, employee productivity, right? Employee productivity, right? What is employee productivity? Employee productivity is employee outputs divided by employee inputs, right? Employee productivity. For example, your employee output. So suppose that you have produced 100,000 units of a particular product by using 100 employees per year. You can calculate on daily basis too. And so that what is your employee productivity? 100,000 divided by 100. Per employee, it is 1,000. That is employee productivity. So that if you use energy, you can calculate energy productivity, whatever. So we are concerned about employee productivity or labor productivity. What is employee productivity? So employee outputs divided by employee inputs, right? Employee output divided by employee inputs. Right. So tell me why employers are concerned about increasing, enhancing, improving employee productivity? Not only employee productivity. So whatever the productivity, so almost all the employers wants to increase, enhance. Why? Can anybody give me a reason? Your employer, I'm sure that the place where you're working, your employer, your management is happy to see that your productivity is increased. Why? Why? You accounting people, you understand this than me. My background is not accounting or finance. My background is HR. But if you look at from the perspective of accounting or finance, you can explain better than human resource management. The reason why employers are concerned about increasing, enhancing, improving productivity. Why? Yes?
Cost efficiency.
Yes, cost efficiency. What is the immediate impact of increase in productivity? Immediate impact. What is the immediate impact of increase in productivity?
Profit. Profit.
Yes, it will make an impact on profit. Before making an impact on profit, it will make an impact on some other things. If productivity get increased, what is the immediate impact? Ultimate impact is on profit.
Cost per unit decrease.
Yes, reduce cost. What will happen to the per unit cost? What will happen to the per unit cost? If you increase productivity, whatever the productivity, per unit cost will increase or decrease or remain unchanged?
Decrease.
Decrease. If per unit cost decrease, what will happen to total cost?
Decrease.
Decrease. If total cost decrease, ceteris paribus, so while remaining all other factors unchanged, what will happen to profits?
Increased.
Profit get increased. If profit get increased, you can achieve all the other business goals. That is how it happens. So that almost all the employers are concerned about increasing productivity, right? So including employee productivity. That is one of the strategic goal. Understood? Then employee development. Employee development. What do you mean by employee development? What is employee development? Yes, one of the strategic goal of human resource management is to develop employees, employee development. Long-term goal. Employee development refers to what? Yes? Okay, no worries. Employee development refers to increasing employee competencies. What do you mean employee competencies? We discussed knowledge, skills, attitudes, right? So predominantly, employee development refers to increasing, enhancing, improving. So employees' competency by giving knowledge, skills, and attitudes, right? More than that, so employee development refers to helping employees to manage their career. Organizers are supposed to help employees manage their career management, right? Because if employers help employees manage their career, employer also benefited. Employee also benefit from it. Understand? So that employee development refers to increasing, enhancing, improving competencies of employees, helping employees to manage their career, and helping employees to achieve their personal goals too, right? So it is very broad concept, employee development. Right. Third one is to increase quality of work life, QWL. Increasing quality of work life, QW. This is relatively new concept, quality of work life. Many employers are concerned about increasing employee quality of work life, especially if you want to retain employees, if you want to attract employees. Once you attract, so you have to keep them with the organization. In order keeping them within the organization, quality of work life is very, very important. What is quality of work life? What is quality of work life, students? Yes? Quality of work life? Any idea? There are many determinants of quality of work life. What factors will help the organizations to keep their employees with the organization? There are several factors that help the employer to keep employees with the organization. What are they? What are the determinants? Yes. What are the determinants that help the employer to keep the employees with the organization, retain them? Why are you going to work? What factors will help you to stay there? Yes.
Good salary.
Yes, the number one is salary. Number one is compensation. Salary is wages, right? So this is very, very important. So number one for people in a country like Sri Lanka. So that is our main source of income. So that we want to have a decent salary. We want to have a competitive pay package. So employers should understand that. So people or employees expect a decent competitive pay package that is fair. Okay, but not only pay package. Suppose that organization is paying a very good pay package for you are paid 2 million, initial salary is 2 million. But you are supposed to work for 24/7, 365 days. Are you happy? Are you going to take up that job?
No.
No. In the short run, you may think that you are paid 2 million, it is good. But can you work 24/7, 365 days? You are paid all time too. No, because you have a personal life, you have to have time for leisure, and you may not. So that working conditions are very, very important. So your leisure time is important, right? Working conditions. Suppose that you have leisure time, working conditions are good. Working conditions are good, but there is no any job security. Job is not stable. You don't know when you lose your job. Are you happy to work in that particular place if there is no any job security?
No.
Your pay is good. You have better working condition, but your job is not stable. There's no any job security. Are you happy to work there?
No.
No, you don't want. I'm sure that you are going to find another job which gives high job security, or the salary is low. Not then that. Suppose that there will be a stability of the job security too, but your working place is not pleasant. The place of work you work is not pleasant. There are many distraction. There are many, what is called, many substances which are very poisonous, dangerous. At the place, there are some substances which are very poisonous, chemicals involved. There is a big odor, right? Working place is not pleasant, right? So it is just like a place of garbage. Do you want to work for that type of place? Do you want to work for that type of place?
No.
No, you don't want. You don't like. You want to work in a nice, pleasant working place, right? So if there are some dangers to your life, so you don't want to work there. So involve some nuclear, right? You don't want. Right? Suppose that your working place is very pleasant, very good, right? But the relationship with your boss is not good. Your boss is just like autocratic. He's an autocratic leader. He used the autocratic leadership style. He is very toxic. Your boss is very toxic. He's very harsh. His relation is very not good. He doesn't know how to treat their subordinates. Do you love to work under autocratic leader? Do you want to work under autocratic leader? Your silence shows that you are happy. Do you want to work with toxic people?
No.
No. We all are human beings. So we want to have love, to be loved to others. We want to be appreciated, right? We want to be recognized. Understand? We don't want to work under autocratic leader. We will work only for short term, but in the long term, so that many people are leaving not because of the organization, but because of the boss. Do you know the number one reason for people to leave their organization? Number one reason is immediate boss. Immediate boss is the number one reason for many people to work, right? So that all those are quality of work life. All those are determinant of quality of work life, right? Quality of work life is the extent to which members of the organizations are able to meet their personal goals with regard to the job and job environment. Employees who are working for the organization should be able to meet their personal goals with regard to the job and job environments. So otherwise, they may not stay with the organization. So those are salaries and wages. So other benefits, welfare facility, so job security, job working environment, relationship, right? Those are the things. Right. Fourth one is to ensure legal compliance. Understand another strategic goal is to ensure legal compliance. You understand that there are many labor laws in any country. So organizers are supposed to utilize so-called labor subject to the provisions of these labor laws. So no organization will be able to utilize so-called labor as they want, as they like, at their whims. Right? So they are required to utilize so-called labor subject to the provisions of labor laws. There are many labor laws in Sri Lanka. So the Sri Lankan organizations utilize so-called labor subject to the provisions of these labor laws. What are the labor laws known to you in Sri Lanka? What are the labor laws? I'm not going to talk about labor laws here, just to name. Name some of the labor laws. Without understanding these labor laws, you will not be able to utilize labor. You will not be able to do human resource management. Labor laws. How many hours you are supposed to work within the organization legally?
8 hours.
8 hours. 8 hours. That is the norm. That is, there is a legal provision saying that employer can get only 8 hours. If the employee is getting more than 8 hours per day, what is the rule? What is the rule?
Shop and
If
Office
employee,
Act.
yes, so according to Shop and Office Employees Act, According to Shop and Office Employees Act, employers can get only 8 hours of work from shop and office employees. 8 hours. Right? If they want to get more than 8 hours, they have to pay what? They have to pay for the extra hours they are getting. They have to pay what?
Overtime.
Overtime. Overtime. What is the rate of overtime? 150%. 150% of the basic salary, basic pay. Right? 1.5 rate. Right. Right. So that is the norm. That is the law. Right. So that no organization can say that no, we can't say that we will pay so 125%. Nobody. No ways. Right. So that is a law. Right. So that EPF, what is EPF? What is EPF? Employee
Provident Fund.
Provident Fund. ETF, what is ETF?
Employees Trust Fund.
Employee Trust Fund. Right. So those are labor laws. So as these labor laws requires, employees have to pay the contribution. Right. Then Employee Gratuity Act, Employment of Women and Children Act, Young Children Act, then Factory Ordinance, Wage Board Ordinance. So there are many industrial dispute act. I'm not going to talk about these things, but so organizations should utilize these so-called labor subject to the provisions of these labor laws. So breaching of these labor laws is a punishable offense. So we need HR in order to ensure that organizations are using these so-called labor subject to the provisions of these labor laws. Okay. Otherwise, by mistake, they may break these labor laws. It is punishable offense. Right. Finally, to ensure customer compliance, you understand that unlike those days, so now in this present era, there are some big customers for some of the organizations. So think about our apparel industry. In apparel industry, there are many organizations that are producing many garments. For some organizations, there are some big customers. Customer is so big that customer may buy the total product produced by the organization. Right? So there will be only one customer or two customers, three customers. Right? What will happen if these customers stop buying? The organization has to go out of scene, out of business. So customers understand their level of influence, the impact they can make. So that they from time to time they may put forward some of the conditions with regard to utilization of labor. For example, customer may say to that particular government organization that organization should not utilize so-called labor all 7 days at a stage without giving at least 1 day off. Customer may require. Customer request the organization to give at least 1 day off for all the employees who are working for the organization. So then what can the organization say? Can the organization say that no, so we are paying them overtime. They are happy to come to work. So that what does matter to you? We can get 7 days work. What will happen? Will the customer be happy? No, customer may say that so that you do as you want. We don't want to buy your product. Right? So that if you want to keep that customer, if you want to make customer happy, you have to so work according to request made by the customer. Such things happen. This especially happen in security industry. According to Shop and Office Employees Act, so you can get 8 hours of work of security personnel. But customer may say that not 8 hours, only 6 hours per day. 6 hours, not more than 8 hours. So then rotate your employees. So how can you say that no, legally we have the right to get 8 hours work. Legally it is okay, but customer request you to employ them only 6 hours per day. Understand? Customer understand that. So that job is somewhat tough if they are working standing all day long. So that one is okay. So that to ensure customer compliance, you need human resource management. Right. So these are the strategic goals of HRM. There are 5 strategic goals. Once the strategic goals are achieved, then generic purpose is achieved. Okay. So did you understand, students, what we discussed? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So if it is clear, what is the time now? It is 9 past 6, no? Isn't that good to have a small break?
Okay, sir.
Shall we have a small break?
Okay, sir.
Okay, we'll have a small break. We'll meet around 9. Now the time is almost 9:10, no? We'll have a 20 minutes break. Shall we meet at 9:30? Then we will discuss the rest of the things quickly. Okay, it won't take that much of time. So we will take a small break. We will start at 9:30. Okay? Have a nice cup of tea and remember to enjoy it. So you have to take your lunch. You have to get a late, sorry, dinner. You have to take a late dinner. Okay, we'll meet at 9:30.
Okay, sir.
Okay, see you after the break. Hello, everybody. Have you come back? Hello, everybody. Have you come back? Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. Everybody, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope that you have enjoyed your tea. So we will start the rest of the session. So we discuss strategic goals of HRM. So once we achieve strategic goals, we can achieve general purpose of human resource management. Once we achieve general purpose of HRM, so we'll be able to establish good human resource management system within the organization that help to achieve business goals. In order to achieve strategic goals, students, so there are several objectives of HRM. There are several objectives. We will discuss the objectives of HRM. So we will be able to find around 6 to 7 objectives of HRM. So what is the first objective HRM? So I have given a note on the strategic goals, go through it. So first objective of HRM is to procure right people at the right time to do the right job. To procure in right people at the right time to do the right job. This is the very objective of HRM. This is the first objective of HRM. Very objective, first objective. So to procuring, what do you mean procuring? Procuring means to hire, to have, right? So you have to hire, you have to have right people. What do you mean right people? Right people means who have got required key qualities and qualifications, who are competent, who have the required knowledge, skills, attitudes, who are committed, right? Who are motivated, so who are involved. So that is what this term means, right people at the right time. Right time means when they are required, at the time they are required. For example, if you want to get the service of a production supervisor on the 1st of February, we have to have one on that particular day, not on the 1st of January. At the time we need, not on the 1st of or 15th of April. We have to have one on the 1st of February to do the right job, not for the wrong job. Right people for wrong job is a wrong decision. Right people for wrong job is a wrong person. Right? So right person to the right job. There should be a fit between the person and the job. Person should be fitted with the job and job should be fitted with the person. So this is the first objective. Second objective is to retain more appropriate employees with the organization. To retaining Retaining means keeping them with the organization. Once you hire, you have to retain. Not everybody, not anybody, but most appropriate. More appropriate. So in this case, so it is better to understand one of the principle called Pareto principle or 80 to 20 rule. Pareto principle or 80 to 20 rule. So what is Pareto principle or 80 to 20 rule? That is an economic concept. Have you heard? Have you heard about Pareto principle? Have you heard about 80 to 20 rule?
No,
Economic concept.
no, sir.
Right. Okay. No worries. So we can use this principle in order to understand how to retain more appropriate employees. So Pareto principle is an economic concept introduced by Alfred Pareto. He's an Italian. So he said that in Italy, so 80% of GDP, what is my GDP? GDP, gross domestic product, right? 80% of GDP is consumed by only 20% of rich people. Understand? 80% of GDP is consumed by 20% of rich people. For the rest of the people, for the rest means 80% of people, there is only 20%. There is only 20% of GDP for the rest of the people. That is the phenomenon in Italy. Not only in Italy, that is the phenomenon all over the world. Even in America, 80% of GDP is consumed by 20% of rich people in America. Even in England, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you go. So in Sri Lanka, it is worse, right? So normally, 80% of the GDP of any country is consumed by 20% of rich people. For the rest, there is only 20%. Right. So that phenomenon is visible in everywhere, in every So country, in every economy, right? That can be used to explain some of the management principles, HRM. For example, in a trading organization, suppose that there is a trading organization that sells 100 variety of products, 100 variety of products. Although there are 100 variety of products, 80% of income, 80% of income of the organization comes from 20% of products, 20% of products varieties. The balance 80% of product variety generate only 20% of income of profit. So that is the phenomenon. If there are 100 employees in the organization, suppose that there are 100 employees in the organization, although there are 100 employees, 80% of profits or income is generated by 20% of good people, good employees. Right? Most appropriate employees, they are most appropriate employees. Although there are 100 employees, only 20% of employees are good performers, high performers, staff performers. So they make all the changes. So they may contribute 80% of income, profits. 80% of the balance, 80% of employees will generate only 20% of income or profits. That is what is called Pareto principle. Right. So that although there are 100 employees, only 20% of employees are good performers, high performers, better performers, staff performers. So you have to keep these employees with the organization. They are game changers. They make organization so successful. Understand? So that do not let these employees to go out, work out. You have to keep them. You can't keep them by force. You have to make some strategies. You have to follow some strategies to keep these so good performance, high performance staff with the organization. That is what is called Pareto principle. Understand? Focus on the most successful, most appropriate employees in the organization. Right. To control employee cost. Employee cost is the biggest cost portion of any organization. Employee cost, especially in labor intensive organization. Right. So more than 50% of cost is for employment cost. In labor intensive organization, maybe more than 75%. 75% of cost is associated with employee cost. So that if you want to control cost, you have to control employee cost. If you want to increase profits, you have to focus on controlling employee cost. So that one of the objective of human management is to control employee cost. Controlling does not mean that you are going to keep employee cost so at the minimum or lowest. No, it is all about so avoiding overcosting. So for example, if there are 2 rounds of interviews, if 2 rounds of interviews are quite enough to select right people for the post of management trainee, 2 rounds of interviews are quite enough. Conducting 3 rounds of interviews may be overcosting. You have to have that type of costing. To motivate employees, we discussed about the motivation. Motivation is the willingness to work. You have to create the willingness of employees to work. You have to create a desire to work. That is one of the objectives. Motivation is not a function of HRM. So this is an objective. Objectives are much more broader than simple or single functions of HRM. Understand? Right. Then there are some more. One is to get an improved employee commitment. We discussed employee commitment is the employees engaged, emotional attachment with the organization, emotional bond with the organization. So in order to make employees attached to the organization, has been one of the objectives of human resource management. To get an improved employee involvement also one of the objectives. So these are the objectives of human resource management. Once these objectives are achieved, strategy goals are achieved. Once strategy goals are achieved, general purpose is achieved. Once general purpose is achieved, so efficient and effective utilization of human resource occurs within the organization. Understood? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. In order to achieve these so-called objectives, students, there are several functions of HRM. there are several functions. So we are going to list down nearly 18 functions of HRM. Some of these functions are known to you. You must have heard these functions of HRM, especially if you have followed the course called business studies in your level, you have heard some of these functions. Although you have not heard, it is okay, never mind. I am going to start from the beginning. So today I'm going to list down these 18 functions of HRM. Out of these 18 functions, the first 7 functions are basic functions, primary functions. The rest of the functions, 11 functions, are secondary functions. If you want to establish good human resource management system within any organization, you have to perform so-called functions of HRM. Okay. So once these functions are performed, you can achieve objectives. Once objectives are achieved, strategic goals are achieved. Strategic goals are achieved, general purpose is achieved. Once general purpose is achieved, efficient and effective utilization of human resource occurs within the organization. Okay, let's discuss. Let's discuss functions of human resource management. Okay, before I start the discussions on the functions of HRM, so you can give you ideas. What have you learned or heard? What are the functions known to you? You can share the happiness of letting those things know. So mention. What are the functions of HRM known to you? Human resource management functions. Yes? I'm sure that you have heard many functions. What are the functions known to you? Tell me.
Recruitment.
Say it again.
Recruitment.
Recruitment. Yes, recruitment is one of the basic functions. Very, very important function, recruitment. Quality of human resources within an organization heavily depends on the successful performance of recruitment. Okay, what else? What else? Recruitment. What else?
Hiring.
Huh?
Hiring.
Hiring, yes, hiring is very, very important. Unless you hire, there are no new people. Recruitment, hiring. Then
Training and development.
Training and development, secondary function. Training and development is the secondary function. Good. What else? What else?
Job design.
Job design. In job design, the first function of HRM, very function. Job design is the first function of HRM. If there are no jobs, no need for acquisition, no need for development, no need for maintenance. Job design very important. What else?
Performance evaluation.
Performance evaluation, yes, that is a secondary function. Secondary function. What else? What else? Performance evaluation. There are some more. Job designing, recruitment, hiring, training and development, performance evaluation. What else?
Induction.
Induction, yes, very good. Induction. That also primary function. What else?
Human power.
Human power planning or human resource planning. Human power planning or manpower planning, all are same. Human power planning, manpower planning, human resource planning. Yes. Very good. What else? Some more. We can list down nearly 18 functions of HRM. Some more. What are they? That's all. Okay, let's discuss. There are nearly 18 functions of HRM, out of which there are 7 functions which are called primary functions or basic functions. Basic functions are basic functions. As one of you mentioned, that job design the first function. Then right after job design, the function to be performed is job analysis. Job analysis. After job analysis, function to be performed is human resource planning or manpower planning, human power planning. That is the third function. After planning the function to be performed is recruitment. Recruitment is to be done after planning. Right, after recruitment, the function to be performed is selection. Selection is the fifth function, that is the heart of HRN. Heart of HRN is selection. Right after selection function to be performed is hiring. After hiring, the function to be performed is induction. Induction is after hiring. These functions are basic functions. How many functions here? Job designing 1, job analysis 2, job human power planning 3, recruitment 4, selection 5, hiring 6, induction 7. There are 7 functions. These functions are basic functions, primary functions. Why these functions are basic functions? Why these functions are called basic? Because these functions are to be performed before secondary functions are performed. On the other hand, these functions are to be performed in the order given. You can't change the order. You can't change the order. If you want to perform these functions professionally, properly, efficiently, effectively, successfully, these functions are to be performed in the order given. First thing first. First job designing, then job analysis. After analysis, human resource planning. After planning, then recruitment followed by selection. After selection, hiring, then induction. So this is the order. You can't reverse the order. You can't put the cart before the horse. For example, induction. Induction is introducing the newcomers to the organization, to the job, to the people, department, etc. Can you induct people before hiring? You have not hired new people. Can you induct?
Can't.
You can't do induction before hiring. Can you hire people before selection? You have not selected anybody. Can you hire them?
Can't.
You can't. So, so can you select people before recruitment? Can you select people before recruitment? Recruitment is all about finding and attracting suitably qualified applicants. It is all about creating a large pool of applicants. Suppose that you have not created a large pool of applicants. Can you select?
Can't.
Can you select without having a large pool of applicants?
Can't.
You can't. Can you recruit? Can you recruit if you do not have a plan? You don't know how many employees you need. You don't know how many vacancies are there. You don't know what type of employees you need. Can you do recruitment?
Can't.
No, you can't. You can't do power planning if you do not have job analysis. You can't do job analysis if there are no jobs. Understand? So these functions are to be performed in the order given. You can't change the order. Right? So after these 7 functions, there are several functions which are called secondary functions. So you can perform these functions at any given time. Performance evaluation, pay management, incentives management, training and development, employee movements, welfare administration, safety and health administration, discipline administration, grievance handling, labor relations. So these are the other functions. These functions are called secondary functions. So you can add one more function. You can add one more function. Here there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's a newly added function called welfare management. Sorry, grievance handling. Sorry, not career management. Career management. Right. So I have written it there. No? Career management. Career management is the newly added function. Understand? So earlier career management was not considered as a function of human resource management. Right? So nowadays, employers are putting much effort to manage the careers of employees. Right? So that career management is considered as one of the functions of HRM. So it is not seen, no? Right? So I am not going to explain the meaning of these functions now. From next week onwards, so we are going to discuss these functions one by one. If you want to have a good understanding about human resource management, you have to understand these functions. So in deep. However, you are not going to be HR expert, but you are going to be HR generalist. So that you have to have some sort of knowledge about these functions. Right? With the sessions available from next week onwards, we will discuss these functions one by one. First, I want to discuss about primary functions or basic functions. So thereafter, I am going to discuss the secondary functions. I am going to start with job designing. Okay, right, wait. till I start the discussions of these functions, very, very important. So the things that you are going to discuss can be utilized. So for the organization you are working for, right? This is very practical. So things that we are discussing are very, very important to make your professional life, working life a success. Your HR may not be your cup of tea, but everybody wants to have some sort of knowledge of human resource management. Because one day you are going to be a manager. Now you may be a manager. One day you are going to be a manager. There may be some employees who are working under you. So you want to get things done through your people. That is what is called management. Right? So students, so the knowledge of human resource management will be very, very important for you to manage your employees, right? On the one hand. So on the other hand, knowledge of human resource management very important to make you organize a success. Right? So that we will discuss these functions one by one. Right. Next, I want to make you understand the interrelations among these functions. I told you that the functions which are called basic functions are to be performed in the order given. You can't revert the order. Success of induction depends on the success performance hiring. You can't make hiring a success if your selection is wrong. You can't make your selection function right if your recruitment is wrong. You can't make your recruitment a success if your plan is wrong, human resource plan. If your balance is wrong, you can't make your power planning right. So job balance may be wrong if job design is wrong. So that the success of one function depends on the success performance the other functions, right? So that there are some dependencies and interdependencies among basic functions. So among secondary functions, even there are some interdependencies. So you can perform these functions at any given time without any order. But it is better to perform some other functions before some other functions. For example, training and development is one of the functions you have to perform. So performance evaluation is another function. If you can perform performance evaluation before training and development, so you can reap some benefits. So always perform performance evaluation before training and development. Why is it? In order to training and development, you have to understand so real training needs of employees, real training needs. In order to identify real training need, performance evaluation is very, very important. Right? By doing performance evaluation, you can identify real training needs so that the training and development benefit from performance evaluation. Likewise, there are some dependencies and interdependencies. You may understand these things once you discuss these functions. So these are the relationship, right? Then, so we will discuss one of the model that we can use to understand human resource management. At the bottom, functions of HRM there, functions of HRM, so-called 18 functions. Once you perform these functions, you can achieve objectives of HRM. We discuss objectives. Once objectives are achieved, we can achieve strategic goals, what we discuss. Once you achieve strategic goals, you can achieve general purpose. Once you achieve general purpose, you can achieve organized goals and objectives. So that everything is linked together, right? So performance of human resource management functions help you to achieve business goals. Understand, students? You understand? Look at the bottom of this. So sequence at the bottom, functions of HRM. Performance of those functions will help you to achieve organized goals and objectives, right? Specific goals and common goal, right? How functions of HRM help to achieve objectives, objectives help to achieve study goals achieve general purpose help to achieve organized goals and objectives. Okay, right. Then, so we are reaching the end of our session. We will discuss the responsibility of HRM. Before I discuss the responsibility of HRM, I want to get your opinion. You understand it. So tell me the responsibility of HRM. Who is responsible for the performance of these functions? Who is responsible? Whose responsibility is HRM? Students, who should be responsible for performing those so-called functions and entire human resource management? Who
Managers.
should be responsible?
Managers.
Which manager? There are many type of managers. What type of managers? There are many managers. There are production managers, operation managers, finance managers, marketing managers, human resource managers, research and development managers, information managers, top managers, mid-level managers, first-line managers, factory managers, many categories of managers. Who should be responsible?
Human
Every
resource manager.
Yes, basically human resource manager should be responsible, but students understand the responsibility of human resource management, especially performing these functions of HRM, rest on all the managers, Whether you like or not, you have to perform these functions. Finance manager should perform these functions. Marketing manager should perform these functions. Operation manager should perform these functions. Research and development managers should perform, right? Response rests on all the managers, not only. Primarily, HR manager is basically responsible. Prime responsibility rests on HR, but HR manager will not be able to do these functions himself, herself. For example, when it comes to performance evaluation is one of the functions of HRM. Do you think that HR manager will be able to evaluate the performance of employees who are working in your division, finance division? Will the HR manager be able to evaluate the level of performance of employees who are working under you? Will he be able to do it?
can't.
Yes, he can't, because he is not aware about finance functions. It is you who can do it. It is finance manager who can do it. It is finance manager who can evaluate the level of performance of employees who are working in finance department. HR manager will not be able to do it. HR manager can design forms, procedures, so these things, everything, but he will not be able to do it. When it comes to training and development, do you think that HR manager will be able to train people who are working in finance department? Is HR manager aware of finance? Can he give a training to finance people?
Can't.
He can't. He is not aware about financial matters. He is not aware of these technicalities of finance. Right? He does not know. It is you who can do it. It is finance manager who can train their people. Right? So HR manager will not be able to train people who are in operation departments. It is operation manager who can train them. Training and development is not a operational function. It is a HRM function. Training and development is operation function, but operation manager should be able to do training and development. So likewise, students, almost all these functions are to be performed by other managers. Right? There's no any other way. Right? When it comes to design jobs, HR manager will not be able to design jobs himself. Essentially, HR manager has to get the support from all the other managers. If all the other managers are not collaborative, HR manager will not be able to do it. Understand? Understand, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right? So do not forget that the responsibility of human resource management rests on all the managers, not only on HR manager. So that every manager is responsible. Every manager is responsible for the performance of HRM. Okay, that may be one of the possible questions that I'm going to ask at the end semester exam. Okay, right. Finally, I want to discuss the significance of HRM. I dare to say it anywhere openly that human resource management is the most important branch of organization management. There are many branches of organization management. What are they? One is operations management, finance management, marketing management, research and development. These are different branches of organizational management, right? So among all these different branches, different fields, HRM is the prominence. HRM take the prominence. HRM is the most important branch of organization management. Why is it? I am not telling these things because I am in HR field. I am not telling these things because it is my field. No, this is the reality. Human resource management is so important. You may say that finance is so important. I am not going to undermine. You are correct. So you are right. Finance is important. But human resource management is more important than finance. Human resource is more important for operation. Operation is a direct function. If the organization do not make a product or service, no goals are achieved. That is true. But human resource management is more important than operations. I am going to prove it. Right? How can you say it? So understand there are several reasons for my claim. Right? One is that understand human resource is the most important resource over all the other resources. Human resource is the most vital resource over all the others. So that managing that resource is more important than other resources. Managing human resources is more important than other resources because human is the most important because there are several unique characteristics. It is animate, it is active, it is living, it has the ability to think, feel, react. Its value appreciated in the past of time. It is very complex, very difficult to predict its behavior. It is heterogeneous, control all the other resources, take decisions over other resources. It can make unions, groups, teams, etc. Many. So that human resource is the most important resource. If so, managing that resource is more important than managing other resources. That is one of the facts. Okay. The other one is quality of all the other field. Quality of all the other department heavily depends on the success or performance of human resource management. You may say that operational people may say that operation function is very important. It is correct. But the success of operation departments heavily depends on the successful performance of operation managers who are working in that particular department. Success of operation department heavily depends on the successful performance of operational managers. Understand? Agree? Right. How? However, if HR people have not selected and hired right people as operational managers, do you think that operations department will perform as expected? If HR people have not selected and hired right people as operation managers, will operations department will be able to achieve success? What is your idea? HR people have not selected and hired right people as operation managers. Will the operation department be successful?
Can't.
No, can't. Right? So that the success of operation department depends on the success performance HR. So success of finance department heavily depends on the successful managers and other personnel working in the finance department. Okay? If HR people have made the mistake at the time of selecting hiring finance managers and other personnel in finance department, do we think that finance department can perform as expected? What is your idea? HR people have made a mistake at the time of selecting hiring candidates as finance managers. So the people that they have selected hired are wrong. So will that department perform as expected? What is your idea? Will finance department be successful?
No.
No. Right? So the same thing applies to the others. If HR people have made a mistake at the time of selecting hiring people for marketing department will not be a success. How about research and development? How about the others? Everything same. So the success of many other departments heavily depends on the successful performance of human resource management. Right? Right. Third point is that the responsibility of human resource management rests on every manager. So that every manager is a human resource manager. Every manager is a human resource manager. Right? So that human resource management is so important, so significant. Right? So I will discuss so the fact that every manager is a human resource manager when time permits, right? So I will discuss. So I have got several points to prove that every manager is a human resource manager. So I will discuss these things when time permits. In time to come, please remind me to discuss the fact that every manager is a human resource manager. Very interesting. I'll discuss later. Right. Today, so we are going to conclude our session. Too much of anything is good for nothing. Right. With that, I want to conclude the first session of human resource management. So it is the introduction to HRM. Very objective was to understand the nature of human resource management. You should be able to have a good definition of human resource management, right? General definition. So you have to understand generic purpose. You have to understand its strategic goals. You have to understand the objectives of HRM, then functions of HRM, responsibility of HRM, and significance of HR. So these are the main points that you have to get out of this session. So if you follow my session and if you have learned or achieved learning objectives, so you have earned around 20 marks. From this session, there will be a question which carries 20 marks, right? So now you have set up 20 marks if you are thorough with this first session. Definitely, I am going to ask a question from this first session, compulsory question. You have to take it, which carries 20 marks. So you have to understand all the things that I have discussed, as these things are very important. So I'm going to make a comprehensive question that we have to use the knowledge of these things. Okay, I'll be thorough with the first session, introductory session. So this may help you to understand the other sessions that we are going to discuss, right? So if you are going to sit for the other exams, follow some other programs such as Masters, MBA, PhD, there will be a component of human resource management. So this knowledge is quite enough for you to sit for such examination too. Okay, right. With that, I want to conclude today's session. So before winding up, I want all of you to make questions or get any clarifications you need. So have you got any questions to ask? Have you got any questions to ask? Anything you did not understand?
So
Anything you...
what are
Yes.
the area you told which will more be focused for exams?
For exam?
Yeah.
Yes, right. So especially from these interactive sessions, you have to have good understanding about the meaning of human resource management. You have to have at least one definition. So I will not directly ask the meaning of human resource management or define it, because this is a degree level. I have to maintain the standard of your paper too. So that sometimes I will not directly ask you to define it, but understanding about the definition or the description will help you to answer the question that I'm going to ask. Definitely. So the understanding about the definition is very important. Then generic purpose. Understanding about generic purpose is very important to answer the questions that I'm going to ask. And understand the characteristic of human resources. Characteristic of human resources. What are the unique characteristics? So this may help you to organize a good answer for the question that I'm going to ask. I cannot let you know the question that I'm going to ask, but the area. Then definitely strategic goals may help you. Strategic goals. So then objectives. So these things will be very, very important. Sometime I will ask you to discuss the significance of human resource management. Right? Significance. So these are the main points. You have to keep it in your mind, right? If you want to sit for the exam and get So the required marks. So if you are going to select the first question, I'm sure that you can get the total marks, 20 marks. There were some students who scored total marks for the first question in the past. You too. Okay, you can secure A plus if you can get 20 marks for this first question and that I'm going to ask. There will be several parts in this first question. Okay, right. Any other questions? Any other question? Are you happy with the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, students? Okay. So I want to let you know about your continuous assessment. You have to do 2 continuous assessments. One is midterm test or quiz. I'm going to conduct a midterm test. Of course, it is a quiz to be taken online during the session. So I am going to ask some multiple choice questions, MCQ questions. So we are to be answered within 20 minutes. I'll give 15 MCQ questions to be answered within 15 minutes. So of course, now you can answer 4 to 3 questions that I'm going to ask from the first session. Already you are aware, right? So I will cover up to the function of selection. So that we will conduct that midterm test right after selection. So after 7 or 8 sessions, we will conduct a midterm test. Okay. I'm sure that you may be happy to face that midterm test because you can set apart some time, some marks for the final exam beforehand. So your risk is minimized, right? So that you have to be in touch with what we discussed in order to face our midterm test. I will announce the date in advance. The second assignment is a group assignment. So you have to form groups. I don't know whether you have formed groups by now. Are you in groups now? Are you in groups?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. Okay. You are supposed to make groups. If you want, I can make groups for you, 5-member groups. You can do it as you like, as you wish. If you want me to make groups, I will do it, 5-member groups. So that is a group assignment. There are 2 things you have to do. You have to select an organization. You have got the access to HR manager. You can select the same organization you are working for. You have to have a chat with HR manager and you have to find the HR related problem. Select an HR related problem or problems. Then, so you have to analyze the problem. Come up with root causes of the problems, nature of the problems, right? Discuss the problems. So mention whether the organization has tried to solve the problem. If not, why it has not been solved. Finally, you have to suggest solutions to that particular problem. But for example, employee turnover. In a particular organization, turnover may be very high. Employees are leaving organizations, right? So that is the problem. So what are the root causes of the problem? You have to analyze it, right? There will be special reason for that particular organization, right? Identify it. Sometimes organization has tried to solve that problem. Why is that not being solved, right? So understand, students, you have to identify the root causes and the other causes, right? Then come up with solution. What are the suggestions you make? Right. So you have to do 2 things. So you have to make a report and submit it, and you have to present that report to the class. Our last session is for presentations. So we will take online presentations. So all members of the group should present. We may have some ground rules. Okay. You have to make PowerPoint slides. and you can make a presentation. Right? There are no any hard and fast rules, so you can do it as you want, as you like. Right? I will make some ground rules with the cooperation and collaboration of you. So these are the two things you have. So keep it in your mind. From time to time, I will remind it. I will upload the instructions to LMS. Now you can think of forming groups. If it is difficult for you, please let me know. So whether you are going to do it or whether I should do it. Okay, right. Then now you can start finding a problem. You can start selecting an organization. You can start finding a problem and have a discussion. That is mandatory. Continuous assessment as rules of examinations, evaluations. You have to do continuous assessment. Okay, right. Anyway, I am supportive, I am cooperative, I am here to help you. Right? Do not just for the sake of doing this assignment may be very, very important in order to develop your especially skills. Presentation skill is very, very important skill you have to have. You have to present many things to the board of directors one day, right? So that you have to have these skills with you. There's no any course aim at developing these skills. To learn these things by yourself. So capitalize the opportunities you get in order to develop these skills. Presentation skills, analytical skills, writing skills, right? Interpersonal skills, many type of skills, soft skills. You can develop these skills by means of doing these assignments. Okay, right? We'll discuss some more in time to come. Okay, with that, I want to conclude today's sessions. So before winding up, so I want to get a feedback. What have you got to say? How do you feel? Feel bad or feel good?
Good.
Okay. How about others? How about others?
Good.
Okay, right. I hope that you can understand what I am discussing. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Do you want me to continue the same way of delivery or should I change it?
No, sir.
Okay, right. I will follow the same methodology, same way of delivery for the rest of the sessions. Right. Right. So I will upload these lecture materials to LMS. So it is better to have a copy with you, hard copy, but I can't ask you to, I can't make it mandatory because cost of printing is very high. But if you can manage it with the place where you are working, if you can get copies from the place where you're working, if there is any possibility, right? It is not an stealing, right? So you take it. At least you have to have a soft copy. Right? Download the copy and have it with okay. With that, I want to conclude today's session. So thank you very much, students. Thank you very much for your patience, cooperation, collaborations, attendance. Right. So I hope that everybody may attend for all my lectures. Right. I want to be the best batch that I have met. Okay. I want to make you the best batch that I have met. So it is you who can do it. I hope you may do it. Right. I am teaching all these things with so much love. Okay. Right then. So goodbye, students. So good night. Okay, meet on next. or tuition. Okay,
Nice.
see you all.